We're live now. There we go.
I could vibe on this all morning.
Right? This is actually a bop. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is Fly and Mo. Social Surge 2025. Good morning. It is Thursday. Happy belated to Miss Fly because we met on Tuesday. Well, we were here, but my sound was bad, and it was no bueno. So the show did not go on because I couldn't figure it out. But now it's better. How was your birthday?
It was pretty low key. Yeah, it
you
was
need
good
to
though.
tell us about the amazing glass that you got.
Oh yeah, okay. So I got. Sorry, I already forgot. They're literally right here. My husband bought me. This was a total surprise. He usually gets me like a book and some jewelry and like Legos or whatever, right? Like I'm pretty easy to please. Then also to preface, my birthday is 4 days after Valentine's Day. And so he gets me a gift for Valentine's Day and my birthday and every day in between. And I don't really know if it's appropriate to call it this, but my full first name is Flannery. And so he calls it Flonica. Pretty dope. And actually I think my friend Haley coined that phrase. Anyway, so it's like 4 jam-packed days of like giving me presents, which I wholly approve of. So on the very last day, he bops out this bad boy. These are the Meta Ray-Bans, and they have the camera built in and the AI and the speaker and like all this stuff. So I can put these on. And so now when I'm at like conferences or events or like just like out in the field doing whatever, I can like snap a little pic, or I can record a video. And then very cool. It can upload it. Then you can send it to people directly from your glasses. You can upload it directly to Meta products, Facebook and Instagram. You can even go live on Instagram directly from your glasses. And I'm so jazzed about this for when I'm attending conferences and events this year. So
I think I'm gonna have to get a pair myself.
Dude,
I won't be able to see them because I'm blind. But I mean,
I think you can get like prescription lenses put in.
Like legit, like I'm super jelly. I want those because just thinking about the fact that the quality is pretty good. I saw you put them out on Instagram today, and the quality is actually super good. So very exciting. We're gonna
the video quality is great, the sound quality is great, and I was like just like sending people videos to be like, ooh, look at this. And then so there was a video I did of just like outside my house, and a truck went by, and it has in the playback in the ears that had spatial audio. So then when I was like looking back on the video, not on my glasses, but like playback on my screen, the sound on the video was as if the truck was driving by. It was very cool.
That is very okay. Yeah, yes. That's very cool. I absolutely love that. That's exciting.
And it also just is your AI, like you have now an AI assistant in your ears, so I can like ask it to. I mean, the use case is like I can ask it little things like, what time is it? What's the weather? Like, so like call this person or things like that. But very cool if you say, hey Meta, what am I looking at? And I realized just stop her talking. I realize now that you cannot hear that, so that was really silly of me to do. However, it did tell me what I was looking at. I was looking at a laptop screen. It identified the fact that I have my phone here and my coffee here. It didn't identify who we were specifically, but it did say that on the laptop screen there is an online presentation, possibly a live stream or a podcast. So
that's so cool.
Pretty cool. So I mean, like, just look, all of this technology is only going to get better. And so even if I have like limited use cases for how I might actually use the assistant or use some of these like integration features, like this is dope.
Those are so badass. Seriously. Those are the best things ever. And they look good. So a lot of times when you see the functionality of something and things are supposed to look great, and they look like Duke, and you're like, oh yeah, this is really cool. Like when Google Glass came out, and it was just like yeah, no, I'm not wearing those public, but thanks for thinking of me. I appreciate you.
I've never had, this is like, might be the nicest thing I own. Like that I would wear on my body. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, a pair of Ray-Bans, you know, Meta was smart to be like, hey, Ray-Ban. Anyway, so that's the scuttlebutt. Watch out. Watch out when
those are amazing. They're incredible. All right, so we are talking about the DNA of CRE report. It is marketers report put on by About and the Brokers List. If you guys have not checked it out, I believe the website actually DNA of CRE.com. There's two separate reports. There's a brokers report and marketers report. Of course, we are going through the marketers report because we are and marketers ruin everything. I'm just kidding. That was a Gary Vaynerchuk thing. He's not, because we do. We absolutely can do. So today, what we're going to be about is content creation trends. Again, when we're talking about the DNA of your report, you have to remember the actual report itself. These are answers from you, by you. This is all you. So definitely, if you're in commercial real estate, if you're in real estate, if you're in marketing in real estate or state adjacent, probably a good idea to download reports and take a look at what people are saying and how they're utilizing technology, social media, doing all that stuff. So we talk about content creation trends. 81% of marketers create content for online presence, which totally makes sense. When we're talking about the funnel, which we've been kicking that bucket ad nauseum for a couple weeks now, your online presence is really the funnel, right? Like that's where you bring people to your ecosystem. It's where you bring people to get to know you, with the hopes that eventually they're at the bottom of the funnel. There's a transaction that happens, and in my estimation, that transaction has to be like get your email. Like that's what I'm looking for. Like I want to get you on my email list so that I have a way to contact you, not just on social media. But through email or maybe through website or whatever. Hopefully those emails also have phone numbers that go with them. And so you can actually people. So thinking about that, 81% of marketers content for online present. What's interesting is that it seems that a lot of, and I guess I didn't really, which seems kind of funny when I think about it, and I'm about to say it out loud now, but like, 56% of marketers say that their content creation comes from blogs or they create blogs. I don't know why. Like I never content creation to me is writing blog, which is interesting, and it absolutely should be. I'm not sure where this connect happened in my brain, but when I think of blog, I don't know, I just think of writing. I don't think of content creation. So I found that to be an interesting percentage. 56% are still using. So what are your thoughts on that fly?
So I think that, okay, so if I think of, okay, sorry. Well, let me gather my thoughts and sip my cafe. I took the Meta glasses off, so I'm not smart anymore. For one shiny moment. Okay. When I'm thinking about the whole content creation process, something that we talk about is the content waterfall. Like how are you creating and then repurposing and posting across platforms? But when I think of the kinds of content that you would put a lot of effort into making, that then you can double down on, make smaller, take clips from, repurpose, repackage, yada, yada. Blog is primo for that. And the other thing that about a blog is that then it becomes that sort of like, it becomes the hub of something that you can use in every single channel that you're spreading out to, and then also have that funneling and linking back into your website. If you have a good blog, you can get several you can get several posts out of it. If you have a good blog, that can be translated into your newsletter. If you're putting out blog content regularly, you can have multiple things that are going on that. You can adapt those into video scripts, and you can also optimize blog content. If we're talking about traditional blog content that like lives on your website, you are going to be optimizing those things for SEO. You are going to be creating a website with a system that you are also showing up in different search engines. And you can put the same blog post. There is a couple people I see who will do this. They'll have the blog post on their website, but then they'll also have a version of that blog post as an article on LinkedIn. Right. And so, long form podcast video content and long form blog writing are two of my recommendations for people when they're looking for how can I get the most pieces of content out of a single capture session, or like whatever, like however you want to classify long form content. So part of me is like, blogs, like, it also carries a kind of connotation of being from the internet of yore, but I think that as a practice, long form copywriting that is, or like longer form copywriting, right? There's a limit. There's a limit to how much we'll read.
Yes.
But wow, I totally lost my train of thought. But it's a skill, and it is a way to have longer conversations about current events that you can then repurpose out onto different channels. I better put my glasses.
What are your thoughts? What?
I'm not smart right now.
I'm not smart right now. I'm gonna put the glasses back on.
Oh, it's from Disney music.
It started. They started.
Okay, so we listen to Disney music while we're going to sleep when I'm helping my daughter to go to sleep. I am also I'm currently the number one listener of a very specific song from the Princess and the Frog soundtrack. I mean, I can't, don't hate the Blair, hate the game. So it connects to your Spotify or your Apple Music, and then you can play your music in your ear. But that was Kill the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. So you were going to ask my opinion about something related to commercial real estate, and I'm not or my life with my 4-year-old.
I was going to ask, what are your recommendations when? So we're talking about blogs, and the reason we're talking about blogs is because if you're just joining in, we're going the DNA of CRE marketer, and 56% of those who responded said that blogs are part of their content creation. So when we're talking about blogs, and I was mentioning the fact that I don't know why I never like blogs and content creation don't mix in my brain for some odd reason. That's why, because I mean it is literally all content creation, but when we talk about formatting a blog, what are your recommendations for your clients or for people you're talking to when they're creating something like that? What are you telling them? What's the important thing to write about?
I think that something that I've been looking at really closely, and something that I'm studying, is like how Ed Winslow has kind of like Ed Winslow, who is the author of Proof Stacking, who's Bob Now. I mean, just for the people not in the know, doing all the PR and SEO for BKRA with Bob Knackle. But I really like the way that he has sort of set out his methodology, in that it is very specifically about case studies, about the work that you are doing, the real work that you are doing, and putting it in a presentation that is about results, about the people that you work with, and proving, like proof stacking, right? Proving that you got your game and you're crushing it, right? So he is somebody that I'm currently recommending to people to look to for examples and ideas, about how do you talk about what you're actually doing and the results that is getting for people in your market, in your field. I think the thing that I Okay, so it is never been easier to start creating content or writing a blog or doing emails or making videos or any of these things. It's never been easier to start. The barrier is extremely low. I was scrolling through some of my old posts on LinkedIn the other day, and I saw a post that here is no better proof that you can repurpose content over and over and over again. I was looking back at my posts and I was like, I have no memory of posting this. It was just like one-off thing that I was like, it should have been a tweet. Every once in a while, I will treat LinkedIn like it's X, and I'm just like, oh wait, I forgot where I was. But I was just like, it was like, so what I said was, if you use ChatGPT to write your content like everybody else, you will sound like everybody else. And is that what you want? And so the blogs, I think, are a great opportunity to create a space for you to have and honestly to practice, like having a deeper discussion about things that you're seeing in your market. So a lot of the things that I see do really well on like LinkedIn, on X, and all that kind of stuff, like sometimes it's like 5 lines. Sometimes it's 5 sentences. Like Gabe Marins just posted something the other day about a day that he had doing building tours, and he showed like 8 different offices. I think I have to go back and check. He showed 8 different properties, and was spending the time with his client, and also seeing other brokers doing the same, and just noticing that there was like more activity in the market, right? And he was able to accomplish that in 5 sentences, right? And that is an incredible skill to have, to be able to like just say something and have it distill down to the thing. However, the blogs, like the blog content, which you would want to be longer form, I think still has roots in knowing about the kind of copywriting that works on social media, because you want people to have like the same kind of hook in, right? If we want to talk about like what I definitely don't recommend is using it as a space to, what's the word? This is not LiveJournal. This is not Tumblr. We are not dumping. And so it's like, it's a place for you to talk about the work that you're doing and what you're seeing in real life, and combine it potentially with longer form insights and data and trends to back up what you're seeing. So like, I recommend the blog formats and what people are pursuing to be deep dives into the work that they've already done and showcasing them as case studies and like testimonialization, testimonying. That's a word.
We made it. It was a word.
And then also a place to, in some ways, treat it like a little bit of a journal, but combine it with a deep dive into market insights that, or deeper explorations of a topic that are not going to necessarily do as well on social media because people are not there for a deep dive.
Right. When you're looking at blog posts, you should all be thinking about the fact that what are the keywords that you want people to find. So you're going to want to make sure that your blogs are keyword rich. And I don't mean there are services out there that will literally put a keyword in every single sentence. That's not what we're talking about. Because it seems inauthentic. It doesn't flow well. It just is like super clunky. When you're creating those posts, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to run a research. Like if someone were to Google my name or search my industry, what would those terms be, and how can I work those terms into my writing in an organic way that makes that flows and doesn't just seem like I spewed up gobbledygook onto page, hoping that it's going to work when somebody searches that. So there are a couple key components to go into creating your blogs. It exactly be what Fly said, is a deeper dive into what you can't really do on social because you just don't have the attention span. It should be personal as well as market. I wouldn't say market niche, but potentially market niche. It should be about what you do. And it should also have those keywords in there. Now, there's rule of thought that blogs are, and you'll hear this from multiple people across multiple platforms. Blogs are dead. Of course, social media is dead. Of course, videos, everything's dead. But the fact of the matter is, you just have to do it consistently. So, recommend definitely if you are doing a blog, at least once a month, once a month. Preferably once a week would be great. If you can't do that, then obviously figure out what that schedules look like. The other bit of blog posts, and this might be old anecdotal data, but when you are updating your website regularly, that also helps with your search on Google. So the Google likes it when you update your website. Adding a blog post updates your website. Other thing I want to mention, if you put photos in your blogs, definitely make sure that you're using alt text and you're explaining what that is. I don't know what's going on now. There's very potential that AI can read photos now on Google, but working a few years ago, classes, we're always going back to the classes. A few years ago, the whole thing about why we were putting text on photos, especially sites that were really photo heavy, it's because Google can't actually read the photo. So you need to have an explanation as to what the photos are. So always think about those things as you're creating your content and as you're creating those blogs. Like, where do words need to actually be? Allison says, "Hi, friends." Hi, Allison. Oh no, my voice has a max room thing happening right now.
Yeah, it's like the little glitchy delay.
Dang it. My speakers died the other day, which is we were not on Tuesday because, yeah. Anywho, well, that's not good. That makes me very sad. All right. Next thing that we're going to talk about is infographics are 56%, newsletter 55%, and videos 45% of top content and choices. I'm a big fan of e-newsletter. This is not the same as your properties. So just remember that it is not the same property blast. Think about, so we were talking about blogs, right? You can take a blog and break it down into an e-letter, or conversely, you can take your newsletter if you're already creating it and turn it into a blog and put it on your website. And take that e-newsletter and I was talking about the content waterfall, just break down, right? Break it down multiple pieces of content, and then if you're only doing e-newsletter and there's 4 sections of an e-newsletter, that's 4 posts on social.
Brilliant.
Doesn't make sense, right? As long as it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, then please don't do it.
Actually, I would like to highlight that specifically. I would like to highlight this specifically because there are a lot of strategies. There are a lot of workflows. There are a lot of tools. There's like a lot of stuff, right? And there inside of that are a million different approaches. And you can plan all you want, but sometimes you get to the post button and you're like, I don't know. I don't think this is it. So it's like when we're talking about looking at data, when we're talking about looking at a strategy, when we're talking about all of these things that are a part of surging your social presence so that you can have more conversions from your network. When you actually start making the content, you will figure out and find and discover things that have so much more information that you can use to grow than just necessarily looking at data. Looking at data is important to understand how the rest of the channels are flowing and like where the trends are going so that you can better prepare and strengthen your strategy for showing up on social media. But like once again, like, you know, you can download all the automated tools that you want and all the AI tools. Like I look at Opus and captions and like all of these things that are like, we'll automatically like take your long form thing and like splice it up into this. And then I get to it and I see what it does. And I'm just like, this is bad. This is bad. This is not good. I would not post this. So it's like, none of this matters unless you put it into practice. And none of this matters until you start getting your feet dirty. And your first content, your first blog, your first newsletter, goodness knows your first video, like it is going to be like in many ways true that he doesn't, because it's hard, right? And I tell people all the time, like, you're gonna look back at the first video that you made in several months and you're gonna be like, oh God, you want to know what? It's and it happens to everyone, every single person. I mean, just go look at Hollywood directors and go back and look at their first movies. And like, unless you're like Christopher Nolan and you've been pumping out bangers for your whole life, you know what I mean? But even then, like, you don't see all the stuff that's gone on in the background. You only see the finished product. I guarantee you, if anybody had the time, and God knows now somebody will, if you scroll back to 2 years, what Bob Knackle was posting, like, or anyone, if you go back to just go back to the beginning. Just go back to the beginning. And just take, like, go to mine. Go to my very first cold call video. I gained skills and insights and speed and knowledge and efficiency by doing the damn thing every day. So that's getting up on my lecture, but my soapbox, get my glasses back on. This data,
do the damn thing every day.
Do the damn thing, and you are going to find missteps and hiccups and obstacles along the way. But the way that you push through and really look at this data and figure out where it's applicable to you and figure out where the strategy is going to work for you is by actually getting out there and doing it. And that the data and the feedback that you get from your own work, putting your own work out there, is in many ways more valuable than anything that you're going to see here. Okay, but don't tune out. Okay.
All right, everybody, we got to go. She's got to go. Have a great day, and we'll be back here on Tuesday. And hopefully, I won't sound like Max Headroom anymore, but we will still be going over the DNA of CRE report brought to you by Build Out and the brokers list. Allison says, send it, post it, do it, 100. Love it. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day.